Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Atelier Ryza, episode 8. Episode 8, we are well past the midpoint of the season. How the time flies, doesn't it? Right, in the last episode, we mostly spent time... Did we really? The previous episode, in general, was mostly about Claudia's desire to join the adventure, right? She asked to be taught bow shooting. Then she asked to join Ryza on her adventures. She even went to her father, seeking his approval towards Ryza. It was all like a very romantic plot, right? Of the hero having to having to fight for the princess's hand, having to complete all sorts of tasks and bringing the king the feather of a feathered serpent as a proof of loyalty and stuff like that. It really has all sorts of connotations like that, and I'm all in for it. The first task wasn't quite as heroic, it just required a little bit of cement and I guess some bucket work, because I don't suppose they have electric pumps to pump the water out. But there are more tasks, more trials awaiting Ryza if she hopes to be able to meet with Claudia without having to go behind her father's back like the tragic lovers that they are. No, but really, it actually sounds that way, doesn't it? It actually does. Especially with the whole condition that, but if I deem Ryza unworthy of you, then she is never allowed to see you again. It was great. It was great. And I assume in today's episode we will continue the challenges that stand before Ryza on her route to gaining Claudia as a partner on their adventures. And that's pretty much my only expectation. We might see some fluff, I don't know. Usually every episode has like the first half is fluff, some sort of a side quest, and then the second part is the actual story, which is kind of a weird structure, but oh well. One more thing happened, of course, in the previous episode. Boss being Boss, Boss being his insufferable self, and Ryza and the team now also wanting to prove to Boss that they aren't just, worthless kids, that they can do things and stuff, and they can be trustworthy and strong, haha. So it's gonna be interesting to see that. I still believe it has something to do with the water, with one single family having monopoly on water on this island. I think this will be Ryza's like big final, perhaps for the finale of the show, final thing that she does, final achievement. She brings an alternate source of water to the village, and now everybody's like, maybe them's alchemists aren't so bad after all. And Boss just bursts a vessel. I don't know. We will know if we watch it, of course, and to do that you will need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 8 of Atelier Ryza in 3, 2, 1, go. She's thinking about what Boss said. Let's. Okay, so we're gonna be taking a bunch of side quests. Or is it going to be the water plot already? Oh, right, Lubart, Claudia's father. Okay, we have a little bit of an overarching plot, as long as we don't resolve it in this episode, of course. Also, I hope the reflection of the fan going in the background. Can you even see it? I guess you can't. I guess you can only see it during the day. That's an important thing to know. Yeah, I wanted to say I hope it's not too distracting, but it's extremely hot. It really is. Like, I don't usually wear a tank top, and I'm forced to. And whether I have my pants on or not, that will remain a mystery. No, but really, it's hella hot today. I wish I could have some AC, but nobody's gonna install it on the 8th floor. And I can't have a, loudspeaker whirring inside with a pipe thrown outside of the window. Okay, we need to alchemize a new house or something. Oh, just get rid of the trash. Okay, that's doable. Some good old acid should do the trick. That's actually fairly detrimental to Empel's research. If all of the ruins just get disassembled and turned into, I don't know, public outhouses. Sure you did. Remove the trash. Of course it is. Throw some bombs, start some fire, pour some acid. Done. Just don't make, like, super explosive bombs. Well, she better if she wants to meet my daughter. Yeah, but that required, like, a cup of cement. This requires a little bit more. Okay, how are we going to go about it? Whomst? Oh, just random kids. Playing around in ruins was almost the most fun. When I was a kid, we had like a house nearby that was built and just left alone. I don't know whether the funds ran out or something, but it was just a house skeleton with no windows or nothing. It was the best place to play. The most dangerous. We would like rip out the gaskets out of the broken, shattered windows. We would braid them and use them as whips to smack each other. Those were the times, I tell you. How am I still alive? Please do. Oh, us, Ryza. Nope. Blow it up. Stout. Okay, not stout, stout. Yeah. And it's gonna make like a nice gravel surface to walk on. Yes, what can possibly go wrong? We'll probably fling debris around, exactly. Okay, so her only plan was just explosion. Acid bombs. You can't fling around shrapnel if the shrapnel just dissolves mid-air. It might leave some craters, but nobody said they can't be there, right? It's about removing the trash, not about keeping the floor pristine. The next book of alchemy. Yep. Level up. Okay, what did you take out of that chest? Or did you leave something? Oh, of course, everybody banded together to get her some help. Of course. And he probably left just the necessary ingredients. Yeah, they are both huge softies, aren't they? Both Ampel and Lila. And I wouldn't have it any other way. She will. It's Ryza we're talking about. Implosion charge or something? That doesn't fling the shrapnel but keeps it contained? Looks like a normal bomb though. That's a lot of them. Yeah, do you really need that many? Let's level the city. And what are those Dragon Balls? It's called Stream of Consciousness, excuse me. Ryza, soon it will be time for you to alchemize an icebox. Everybody's having fun, hanging out in the middle of a dangerous forest. Well, not that dangerous. There's a wall and the flower. Spin to win. Yep. Oh, they look dangerous as fuck with a flame on them and all. Throw some of them in the forest. And what's the effect? I guess we're not gonna see that. Okay. Okay, she got it, but just in her dreams. I shouldn't blow up the city at this point. I might blow up the street, but the city overall should be safe. Oh, hello, Pat. Skittles? M&Ms? Oh, berries. Nature's Skittles. Is this the key ingredient? Huh. Those berries. Okay, I'm glad that she's not keeping it a secret, because I really thought that she's gonna, but no. Yeah, there probably should not be any bystanders. There still might be some shrapnel flying around. But at least the whole village will witness Ryza's alchemy. The priest? Oh, Ryza, you're gonna be burned at the stake. Priest is the last person you want here. Okay, let's do it. Hmm? Some barrier potion or a barrier spell or something like that would be very useful at this point. Why do you need a lantern? To start the fuse, I guess. Yep. And there we go. Okay, so those are whatchamacallit. The thing that you make out of uh out of iron oxide and aluminum dust. What's it called? It burns at like 1,000 degrees and just melts through metal and shit. Termite. Termite bombs. She made fucking termite bombs. People in Geneva would like to have a word with you. Are termite bombs like forbidden by the Geneva Convention? I don't even know. But it's not enough still to get my daughter's hand. Of course. You think my daughter is this easy to get? Yeah, she became a little bit more, methodical and less haphazard. You want one of those stuck up your ass? Because you're asking for it. You're asking for it at this point. What's his problem at this point? Oh, to also help Ryza at the same time. Not out of the question, for sure. Not impossible. Whomst. Oh. Oh? You need something fixed? A pendant, a sword, a piece of armor? A brooch of some sort? It's a very weird break. And very weird, like, inner texture. Is it pewter? It could be pewter. Yeah, she alchemized herself into a different person. Yeah, we still have plenty of time. I thought this is just about the end of the episode. Ryza's #1 fan. Produced by the very Ryza. Okay, suddenly requests are gonna start piling up. Blasphemy! Bury them at the stake! And Lent's father, of course. Is that Lent's father? It is Lent's father. Is he like a former adventurer or a soldier or something like that? Because of all the scars and shit. Well, that was easy. Last time you had something to fix, you needed an identical copy to base your fixage on. Yeah. Nosy, aren't we? Oh, it's a usable item. A sword pendant thing. Okay. Okay. That seems awful easy to just lose, doesn't it? You'd think it would be a medal or a necklace or a pendant or something like that. Not a, what's it called in Warframe? The thing you attach to a weapon. Not a sayandana. That's the cape. This is... It also has some name in Warframe. Yeah, she wanted to help the villagers. Just like you are, Ryza. That's why you resonate with each other so well. Grass is greener and all that jazz. Debatable. That was a sound. Dissect the people to understand their alchemical buildup. No, it's not Symphogear. This feels like an end of an arc, right? Kinda, sorta. There is still at least one more task for them to fulfill if Ryza hopes to be friends with Claudia. There's still the matter of Lent's father, of course. Any other unresolved things we have left? Well, there is the tower beyond the forest, and then there is these monsters that aren't supposed to be here, but they are either far away or have been sidelined, so I don't think we will handle them anytime soon. And of course, showing up boss who's boss today was a first step in that direction. Now we need to wait for more. And Finn. The final test. Okay, so the next test will be final. And of course, Ryza will pass it with flying colors. We can be certain of that much. Just like we can be certain that we will watch this episode again. How's that for a segue? Just to wait boss, of course, that's a motivation to have. And the second task is just removing rubble. This used to be a public square, but it fell into disrepair. This is interesting that a lot of houses are built by remodeling old ruins. I wonder how many houses have some like deeper levels of the ruins somewhere in the basement, but they were just sealed off. And how many houses just, you know, were made by essentially destroying the ruins. You know, ancient inscriptions on the wall. Well, that looks kind of ugly. Let's put some mortar onto it. You know, that kind of deal. People are really, really, really fast when it comes to destroying beauty, I've learned, especially when it comes to architecture. Oh, it's a wall with some pretty, you know, old bricks. Let's fucking plaster it all in white, why don't we? Shit like that is all around, and I fucking hate it. The fact that they are remodeling old ruins is both a blessing and a curse for Empel. It is a curse because how many of those ruins were destroyed in the process of creating this village, right? How many of them fell apart and were, you know, swiped away somewhere? How many of them were dismantled and turned into a fucking pub or something? But on the other side, it is a blessing because if people can kind of sort of live in the ruins, that means there's really a lot of them on the island, right? If the entire village, or at least majority of the village, can be built inside of the ruins, that means they are aplenty all around. So even though these have been destroyed irreparably, there probably are still ruins that remain undiscovered. Perhaps buried, perhaps with access to a cave or something like that, but still. This area became where everyone puts their trash. Well, you're the fucking mayor. You designate an area where trash goes and make it not this area. How about that? You have the control of the city guard. Put some people on patrols and have them just fucking stab anybody who litters. You know, there are easy solutions. It didn't just become an area where everybody puts their trash. It became that area through a silent or a loud, you know, whatchamacallit, condoning agreement from the mayor, right? Nothing was done about it. I received complaints saying it blocks travel. And of course it is because some important people arrive and he needs the place clean. There is one thing this mayor is actually good about. He seems to not be in the isolationist camp, right? First it was Claudia's father he invited. He gave Empel and Empel and Leila a place to stay. Now he's inviting more merchants. He's opening the village out to the outside world, so that's commendable at least, if nothing else. She was able to fix the leak in our home with alchemy. Those are like very different things though. One thing required some cement or plaster or whatever, and that leak could probably be fixed with like a handful of clay picked up at a creek or something like that, or even without the alchemy, just make some regular fucking mortar. And this is just this requires destroying plenty of rubble. Very different things. We're really seen as handyman, settling in as handyman. Yeah, but isn't that what you want to do, Ryza? To help people, and this helps people directly and indirectly. And it helps a lot of people at once, because this town square can now be revived, resurrected. There can be benches around and stuff like that. Maybe someone can build a public bathhouse or whatever, right? It can be used. So you're doing what you wanted to do. And you get the benefit of being allowed to be Claudia's betrothed. Kids playing in the ruins, of course. And yeah, of course, Ryza can do it with her alchemy. Her first instinct is bombs. This is a little bit of a wonky face. It's an in-between, I think. Oh, what? No, wait. Yeah, it's an in-between, so it has the right to be wonky a little. No can do. Can't use bombs. Have to use something else. I thought she's going to be a little bit more imaginative, right? Maybe some strength potion, or maybe genuinely just some acid. But it seems like she's going to use thermite bombs, which is valid, sure, and looks nice, but still, she started with bombs and she continued with bombs. And of course he put all the necessary ingredients because he's a huge softie and everybody managed to convince him. Not like he needed much convincing in the first place, I assume. And there we go, Eureka. By adding a Luft that creates a wind, I can improve the bombs. So wind bombs, essentially. It's cool that alchemical products can be used as alchemical ingredients. It really opens up the tree of alchemy, right? That you don't have to start from the point where you know that you want thermite bombs, so you have to make thermite bombs. You can make some basic bombs and then upgrade them if needed. Use some Luft to turn them into thermite bombs, use some basilisk fang to turn them into poison bombs, you know, all different sorts like that. This is cool. Almost enough to blow up the whole area. You can just write everything that comes to mind. Sure, okay. We really benefit from everybody's presence in this group, right? They really like complement each other. Tao is good at studying, very studious, knows how to take notes and whatnot. Ryza has her alchemy, Lent is the brawn, and they really like work together as a team. And with Claudia's additional brains, there will be a whole 2 brain cells in the whole team, so the amount is gonna double. Learning, shooting, swinging, and yeah, don't pick up bad habits during training because they will embed. And you don't want bad habits to be embedded. I thought this is like a legit slime they just randomly tamed between episodes and it's just their pet. But no, it just seems to be a plushie. Needed to test it. Is my screen flashing every now and then? Or my camera or something? It looks like that to me. I don't know, I'm gonna have to check it out on the recording. No, it's not from the screen being bright. Something's going on, something fucky-wacky. But yeah, some testing done on those bombs. I thought they will have like... they will either suck in all the debris, or they will just like break the debris apart in place without actually like flinging it anywhere. Or maybe they will be like directional bombs that create a field that just pushes down or something like that. But they seem to be genuinely just thermite bombs. She helped Pat, of course, she helped so many people. She's growing into a fine, fine alchemist. This priest is gonna cause issues, 100%. He really doesn't like alchemy, 100%. He would probably want Ryza burnt at a stake and everybody associated with her. And... Tamaya! Yeah, they just burn. Those are just legit thermite bombs. There's no shrapnel because everything just gets burnt. And it summons a column of fire from hell, apparently, as well. Well, we're dabbling a little bit into dark magic, aren't we? Such a huge explosion, but no shrapnel at all. Yeah, shrapnel is here in the air. Those little sparks falling down. That could very well start some fires around the city, but let's not think about that. They just look like pretty sparkles. That's all they are. Huge success. And everybody in town now knows what alchemy can do. On one hand, it's cool that she was able to show off to the entire village, essentially. On the other, it feels ever so slightly rushed, like a little tiny bit, that she's not like working her way up when it comes to reputation, but rather it's this big event, and from the point where nobody knew Ryza can do alchemy, now everybody knows Ryza can do alchemy and she's really good at it. It seems like a very big leap. You pass the second test, and there will of course be a third. And of course, boss is forever grumpy and never happy with whatever's going on. You really are in over your heads. Well, they managed to do what they set off to do, so I'm not sure what you're saying makes any sense. But then again, when does it ever? And yeah, alchemy did help the village. There were some nice fireworks. The debris is gone. All that's needed is just putting it into bags, mixing it with water, and you have fresh mortar. There we go. Harumph! Boss turns on his heel and walks away with lumbar supporting Tao. Because of course, that's the kind of a character he is. Did my father set up the test to demonstrate that to the village? That's actually decently plausible. That Claudia's father knows that Ryza can be, like, counted on. That she can actually do those things, so he wants to show the whole village what she can do. Maybe, to some degree. I'm not sure. Maybe the first test was like a legit test. And then he saw that, oh, she's the real deal. We need to spread the news, you know, all around the place. And at the same time, it is also another part of the test as well. You can fix things? Of course she can. And she can fix your pendant as well. No problems. And this girl, who is not listed in the character sheet, so I can't remember her name, of course spreads the tale of alchemy far and wide, and she just so happens to have some alchemy from the famed Riesalin Stout with her. Come one, come all, partake in this blessing ointment that can cure all that ails you. She's a merchant through and through, isn't she? That alchemy thing, yep. And apparently it can, I mean, possibly it can also help them fishing. Wouldn't surprise me if Ryza was able to make, like, really good fishing bait. Or enchant their fishing rods or something. And we, of course, have another disgruntled member of the village. Harumph! Brats! They go around helping the villagers. Ugh! I can't take it. How they can be so, helpful and shit. Is it that upsetting for you that Lent is getting praise? He has a point. She doesn't look too happy either, and Ryza is the hero of the moment at the village, and she's not, like, beaming with happiness. So a little bit of a pot calling the kettle black, isn't it? The ornament is fixed, of course. And it fits right onto the weapon. And what the fuck is it called in Warframe? Because it's not gonna leave me alone. Warframe cosmetics. I probably want weapon cosmetics though. Weapon cosmetics. There we go. And it's called a Sugatra. It's called a Sugatra. And it attaches to your weapon, and it's also that, like, dangly bit at the hilt of the sword or whatever weapon you attach it to. So she now has a Sugatra. That was probably like 75p. P being platinum. And the proof that I'm an esquire. And a fish, not officially appointed knight. Yeah. She went to Ashram to probably take her knight's training, but then she decided, yeah, that's not for me. I don't really want to spend my time in the big city becoming a fully fledged knight and joining the force. I want to go back to where my people are, and I want to help my village. That's perfect. Yeah, bloodline, status, promotions, factions, all of that is bothersome. Of course it is. Life here is simple. She's strong, she has a sword, she's a guard, she guards good, people happy. That's all there is to it. No complications, no trying to, I know, marry her off to some prince, no worrying about having to bow your head to a baron, but not as low as you would bow to a prince. No need to worry about getting promoted and fighting for promotions and shit like that. Life is simple. Makes sense. Ryza, of course, believes that the royal capital would be better because she's never been to the royal capital. And as we all know, the grass is greener on the other side. If Ryza were to go to the royal capital and spend a couple of months there, she would quickly want to go back to the village. I guarantee that. Of course, everyone here is so stubborn, Morris is so self-important. That's what she sees from the perspective of a child. But then again, none of the other characters really led us to believe that the situation is any different than what Ryza believes it is. So there's also that, of course. Still have much to learn. That sound. That's a great sound. I love it. I love that little squeak. You can learn more about the island and its people. Of course she can. Through the alchemy, just, don't use it to dissect people. Use it to help people and learn about them that way. That will be the better way to go about it, trust me. It didn't end well for Carol. It's not gonna end well for you if you decide to take the same path. Nothing happened at the capital. And she shares a tale of the nobles and the royals. There we go. Episode 9, the final test awaits us. I need to close the window. There's so many bugs getting in. That was a cool episode. Again, didn't really have much to it. Like, it wasn't packed with events, like pretty much all of the episodes of Atelier Ryza are. What I mean by that is none of the episodes of this show are particularly packed with events and stuff, right? It's usually one important thing and a little bit of fluff. In this case, it was pretty much just one big event and very little to no fluff, unless we count the bit with Agatha and fixing her pendant as fluff, which I guess we can. So there isn't really that much to discuss, I don't think. Ryza learned a new recipe, she got a new alchemy book, she now can make more advanced recipes, which is cool. We know that she can level up, well, not level up, she can use her existing results of alchemy to create new items, which is another important thing to know. What else really actually happened? She got recognition by the city, by the town, and I think this is like the biggest point in this episode, the biggest thing that happened, because all this time her alchemy was something she didn't really share, right? She kind of kept it to herself. She didn't start going around the city saying, hey, do you want something alchemized? Do you want something alchemized? I can help you with that with alchemy, or anything like that. Whenever someone happened to be in need, and whenever alchemy happened to be a good solution to that problem, she would apply it. And she wouldn't go around brag about it. She would just help that person and move on. So it's nice that a lot of people can now see her ability and what she can do. I envision it's going to create some problems where people are going to start banging at her doors, begging her for help. Right? Oh, make me some fish bait. Oh, my tomatoes aren't growing good. Oh, my dress is torn. Oh, this, oh, that. And she will be swamped with requests sooner or later. So she will have to figure out a way to deal with that somehow. Perhaps move some of those people towards Ampel. Maybe he can be of help. Of course he can. But he's busy. Checking out the ruins and looking for things in them, I assume, with Lila, so he probably wouldn't be available at all times, like Ryza would be. Her hideout might actually genuinely come in useful to hide from people who want something from her. Yeah, that's what you get when you get a very useful skill in a very small community. I think it was who was it? In The Witcher 3, Hiramet, who settled in the countryside and who said that the villagers would revere anybody who can make hemorrhoid cream. Because if a village or a town or whatever has one person that can do one thing they really need, of course, they will be swamped with it, even for the tiniest things. The same will go for Ryza. I wonder if we handle that somehow, actually, or are we just going to hand wave it? Is it going to be an important point, or is it just going to be, nothing? I wonder about that. The appearance of Lent's father in this episode makes me believe that we might do something in that direction. I'm not sure what yet. Lent proving himself somehow, perhaps during another test for Claudia's hand in marriage. I don't know. We'll see about that. I don't suppose Claudia's father would send them to some dangerous mission in a forest hunting monsters, though. So probably not. But yeah, now it's going to be time for Lent to prove himself. Ryza already did. Now Lent has to. And then it's going to be time for Tao, although who does he need to prove himself to? We are not really aware of his parents or any guardians of any sort. Boss? I guess all of them need to prove to Boss their worth, but will Boss really be convinced? That also remains to be seen. I don't think so, unless until the very, very last moment. When water suddenly starts sprouting from the village's old dry wells, and it's thanks to Ryza finding a water vein or something. Yeah, anything less than that I don't think is going to sway Boss, and even that might not. He might just be the kind of a, permanent antagonist who's never really happy with anything the heroes do. Could very well go that way. Interesting. That was an interesting episode. It had a lot to it in retrospect. Not much in plain sight. But when you think about it, there are certain implications it had, and both for world building and character development and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting how it progresses. It certainly is going to be, but that's not going to be today. That's going to be some other day, next week, perhaps. Right now, I think it's about the time to end it, but not necessarily for you, because you can still leave a comment down below. What did you think of this episode of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please, though. Spoilers go to my Discord, here linked in the description as well. Join it, it's open, free for everybody. Discuss Ryza if you want. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Ryza and Atelier, but also Madoka Magica Rebellion, Helk, Zom 100, Nanatsu no Makengashi Haisuru, and Undead Girl Murder Files, and others coming at you in the future. So click the bell icon to be notified of when I go live, because I also stream sometimes and you might not want to miss that. We'll see. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Fruit, Young Gaiju, Dr. Iskurium, MZ, Rainer, Akamancer, Marsh, Fussel, Dr. Wotukala, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to blow up any rubble.